Hi, everybody. This is Pastor Matt here. Excited to come to you from my basement again. This time, Angie convinced me to have the screen propped up just enough that you could see my glamorous shot from my high school senior year. This actually was the picture that my mom commissioned from one of those pop-up shops in the mall to have as my senior picture, and she wanted me to hand these out to my friends. But I'm here not to talk about myself or my picture, but I'm here to talk to you about things going on in the world of Highrock Haverhill. As you guys know, I'm going to be jumping into open heart surgery in the next 8 days, actually. That leads me to my pleasure today, which is to introduce to you one of my deep friends and dear friends and long-term friends, Pastor Angie from Highrock North Shore. She has accepted the invitation that we have extended to her to step in to become the interim pastor at Highrock Haverhill for the duration of my medical leave of absence. And you guys, I can't tell you how grateful I am to her for her willingness to step into this moment. I have known her for a long time. Many of you have known her for a long time as well. Some of you don't know her very much at all. So we're going to take a few minutes today to do some introductions. But I wanted to start with a story that goes back to the beginning and genesis of our friendship. It was 2014. We were in the basement of the First Universalist Unitarian. That's right, right?
First Universalist Society of Salem, FUS.
Yeah. So Angie's memory is much better than mine. So I frequently will defer to her on anything that happened in the past, and she will correct me with grace, but she will correct me. So we're in what's it again?
The First Universalist Society of Salem.
Yeah, we're in that place in the basement, and the two of us are washing dishes, and it was the beginning of like a really deep and special bond between the two of us. So that was how we started 2014. And do you have any memories from that night that you want to share?
I mean, just in general, it wasn't just that Shabbat dinner. It was literally every single Sunday morning after soul food. We would realize that we weren't leaving until all of the dishes got washed. And so you and I would just stack all the chairs because we had to stack all the chairs up. And then we would take all of the trays and go down and wash them. The meaning really came not just in that one first Shabbat dinner. You actually told me, you were being really honest, and you were like, Angie, I view you as being my sister. Like, you remind me a lot of my sister Debbie. And I'll never forget that moment, because it was kind of one of those moments when I started to feel like the North Shore and Massachusetts in general, and even Highrock, was home, because it was like I was like finding my people.
So the two takeaways I have from that story are: be careful if you wash dishes with me, because I might ask you lots of questions.
Very true.
And two, all pastors should really get their start washing dishes in the basement of a church building after a church event. Amen?
Absolutely. Every single one.
All right, so I'm still a little bitter, honestly, that Angie didn't join our church plant when she could have. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when the opportunity was just like laid right out in front of her. But alas, she did not, which is okay. She can make her own decisions. But I just want you to know that.
Thank you for the permission to make my own.
I just wanted to get that little dig in there. Like, where were you when we started this whole thing?
Ask the Lord.
Ask the Lord. I ask the Lord lots of things these days.
I have absolutely felt called to serve as the youth pastor at Highrock North Shore over the last couple years. I've also been incredibly proud of and overwhelmed in the best ways by the yeses that Highrock Haverhill has said to the invitations that God has extended to you all. It has been so powerful for me to hear the ways in which God has opened Highrock Haverhill's eyes to the complex world of trauma, and being able to so intentionally and lovingly and with such great faithfulness for your whole church to decide that you want to be trained to care for people, for adults and children alike, who have undergone such hard and broken and traumatic experiences. And so I think even that, mixed with the ways in which you guys have supported the foster care system in the Merrimack Valley, and the ways in which, even in your small groups, your life groups, that God has really woven together a beautiful vulnerability and intimacy and family-like environment, has just been so powerful. It is literally the church operating the way that God intends for the church to operate.
Next question. How are you feeling about like jumping into this position?
I am invigorated by the idea that my stepping in allows you to rest and to actually recover, and that in doing so, it's something that will be a tangible, hopeful benefit to you and your family as well as to your church. So that's the excited piece. The nervousness is definitely, I think one of my greatest assets that I bring to the table as a pastor is the ability to just like sit and be with people. And we are still in a world where sitting and being with people isn't safe yet. And so figuring out what it will look like to get to know and connect with and to be present with Highrock Haverhill, I'm nervous about it because I want to care for your people well. My goal has kind of been, as Matt and I have talked, to see my role kind of in like two facets. So the first is like my goal is to faithfully love and serve Highrock Haverhill in Matt's stead. And I'm not Matt, first of all, like I'm not 42 and I don't have a beard. So that's something. But I also like, we're different people, and I don't feel the need to try to replicate who Matt is as a pastor, as great as he is. Instead, I want to be able to understand the needs of the church and understand who I am and how I can come alongside Highrock Haverhill in this season. Because I do have like passion and insight on the wonderful and incredible things that God has done, because Matt has shared stories with me. And so I want to be able to step in and connect with people in a way that allows for them to feel seen and known and valued, allows for each of you to feel like if you have tangible needs, you can share those. And as a church, we are still going to come alongside you. And I want to be praying for you and with you. And then I think, so that's like the first thing, right? I'm almost like stepping in and kind of like, maintaining, right? To some extent, like I want people to know they're cared for. But I also think that God has extended so many incredible invitations to Highrock Haverhill over the last 2 years. And I don't think that stops because Matt needs to take a medical leave of absence. We are continuing to move forward. It's not like we've laid dormant for, 2 to 3 months. So
I have a series of rapid fire questions that I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
But I didn't know if there's any like final things that you felt like I just got to say this to the people while I have a chance.
Yeah. So the first is that I am really excited to connect with each of you. And so my hope is that like I will have an opportunity to phone or email with everybody who is a part of Highrock Haverhill. Like I'm coming in like with a desire to support what you guys are already doing and to just let you all know that you are so valued and loved and cherished here at Highrock Haverhill. And I definitely want there to be, to as much as we can, there to be opportunities for us to continue to connect with God and God's people and God's purposes this summer. So that's really it. That's definitely my hope.
All right, rapid fire. You ready?
Okay,
here we go. This is get to know Angie rapid fire.
Okay.
Favorite college sports team?
Virginia Tech Hokies, baby, let's go.
I just needed her to be able to get that out there. You guys have no idea how deep the whatever color it is. What color is it? Maroon?
First of all, Chicago
Purple.
Maroon and burnt orange. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
I should have worn that shirt. It's fine.
Sorry, my rapid fire stalled after the first question. All right. Food you can't live without.
First thing that came to mind was buffalo chicken.
Bang. Favorite movie?
The Lion King.
If you could attend one live event, which live event would you attend?
Matt's surgery. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I don't even want to attend that.
I don't want to attend that.
Terrified.
Any live events? Honestly, I already did. Celine Dion concert this last October. One of the greatest experiences of my life.
Best book you've read in the last year?
I'm Still Here by Austin Channing Brown.
Last time you yelled at the top of your lungs with happiness?
Oh, happiness. That's a good qualifier. Probably this last fall, coaching volleyball when we got one of our wins for our seniors. Yeah.
What does that sound like?
Are you serious? I think we're gonna blow out my cats are gonna freak out. We're gonna blow out the speaker.
Do it. Freak out your cats.
Be like a woo!
What's one show you've binged since COVID started?
Oh my gosh, just one? There's been a lot. Alias. I went back and watched Jennifer Garner kick some booty.
All right, a little deeper. Where are you finding joy right now?
In this conversation. But also, I'm finding a lot of joy in being able to connect with some of my friends who don't live locally. My best friend's daughter turned 1 last week, and I got to see her eat. Actually, it was this week. Got to see her eat chocolate cake for the first time, and it was like full on Brucey from Matilda, like all over. It was amazing.
All right, last question,
Yeah.
deepest question. You hear God speaking words over you. What's God saying?
Oof. Um, I see you, I hear you, I know you, and I will act for you.
Amen.